You know, I can't honestly tell you when I first met Sheika. Sheika always was.
The town officially opened in '62. She was here from '63 or '64. She was awesome.
You know, she's a very strong person, and I think when she says, you know, we're going to do something, she says it in a very strong way, like there's not an option. We're doing this, and I need you to help me. And I think people are drawn to someone who has that kind of a commitment about whatever the project might be.
But she came to the U.S. and was an entertainer, a dancer.
And I think she was probably about 18. She was a Balmain model, couture line in France, in Paris. She also was with the first review to go to Las Vegas. The dancer was either Sid Charisse or Juliette Prowse, and Sheika was the legs and the looks.
Both Pepe and I, we didn't have a family. And as by like coincidence or it meant to be, we met. Two Austrians, both didn't speak that good English. He was a ski racer, I was modeling at that time in New York. When we came to Vail, and Pepe wanted to stay in Vail, and so did I, and we decided we want to get married. We wanted to build something. And it was, I think, it was the people of Vail at that time, the founders of Vail, would open up their doors and their hearts to us. I felt so welcome as I've never felt welcome before. I traveled a lot, I lived in so many different places, and all of a sudden I found myself stabilized, my feet on the ground, and surrounded by a beautiful, beautiful community of friends. And I think that's what made the decision that we both, Pepe and I, decided, let's make our home here.
Of course, Pepe was in the international circuit. If you look at all those trophies out there, I mean, he won everything that you could imagine back in the 60s and the early 70s. It was really their names which drew a lot of people internationally here and helped make Vail grow and expand beyond anyone's dreams from the original founders. If those two up here, we would have a ski resort, and a good one, because this mountain is just unique in the whole world. But I think it'd have a whole different character.
Sitting here in Gastorf-Gramsheimer, I think this Austrian feel, the European Alpine village feel, is what was attractive.
Gastorf-Gramsheimer was always the model by which everyone else sort of set their standards.
It is not just a hotel or a restaurant, it is my home. I think what it was at that time, we all had the goal to make Vail successful and made it popular.
If you just look what she did for the hospital and did the room that she donated, that room over in the hospital, the recovery room, and some of the kindness she's done for the Betty Ford and some of the other people, or whenever anybody's in trouble or somebody's passed away or there's an issue, she's there firsthand to help you, and she follows through with that.
And when I came, there weren't any hospital beds in 1971. Babies were delivered because pregnant moms would come off the interstate and the timing was wrong. They could be taken care of here. Okay, we didn't have any money, so we needed bassinets for the kids. So she says, we're going to have a tournament. So she put on a tennis tournament, and she put that, and they donated, and she bought the bassinet. So now, where there's only one defibrillator in the emergency room, the hospital's still broke. We need a second one. So Sheika heard about it. She says, we're going to have another event. So she put on another fundraiser and put the money. We bought the second defibrillator, so there'd be one in the ER, one up in the ICU. Look forward to just a couple of years ago, and now we're doing this big renovation. We had a lot of our hospital rooms, they were looking a little old, and now we're revitalizing and bringing all the big rooms up to date. So one of the options we had was to name some rooms maybe after locals and see if they would give us enough money. So if you give us $50,000 to $100,000, we put your name on a room and then we completely renovate it, and it's completely up to stuff, and that's here. And that's how they got involved, and she and Pepe were one of the earliest people. And since Sheika is somebody that, because of Sheika, asks for anything, they'll do it because of Sheika. So she helped us raise the money. So their name goes on the door. Then other people in town said, hey, I want my name on the door. And we finally bought the rooms, and that's how we renovated, with limited funds.
But I think her probably closest mentor and friend for both she and Pepe was a congressman who later became president. Betty and Jerry Ford were friends, and they were Pepe and Sheika's families.
So John King had a dinner party at Pepe's. And Pepe and I, we were invited to join them for dinner with a group. And that's how we met the Fords then, who was a congressman at that time. And it was like we hit right away. It became a friendship everlasting. First as a friend, then a sister, then a motherly. And so it became a family. Not just friendship, but it was a part of a family.
Jerry Ford and Betty were real. Sheika and Pepe are real. They shared a common theme of integrity, of the ability to make people feel welcome, to feel important, and to always enable everyone around them to share in whatever experience it was. To have Pepe be with an 8th grade education and as an apprentice as a cheesemaker who happened to ski very, very well. And Sheika, who at 18 was on her own. There aren't many people in life who have the opportunity to spend the night in the White House.
Well, the heart of Vail is communication, love, and just a happy surrounding, energy, where people can get together. And that's what the heart of Vail, that doesn't mean just Vail, the heart, but the people, what created Vail. It's still there, but it's a little harder to find now. But it's still there, and you can still reach out to people, and people are still there when you need it. They still care about you. And like I always say, I'm only a phone call away. And I think it still means the same thing to a lot of people. They're only a phone call away. And that's what I feel like the heart of Vail, which we lose in a big community because we're all involved in our own things, which we are right now here too, that's normally. But there's always a phone call away. And there's always a friend who comes there. And that's what I call the heart of Vail.
We're just lucky she's here. We're very lucky she's Sheika, and she brings the fun, and she brings joy, and she's marvelous. She's marvelous.
Sheika, congratulations. You're a very deserving leader. Don't stop. You're not done. Keep going. Thank you.
We're proud of you.
Yeah, very, very proud of you, Mom, and I look forward to you achieving even more awards that you've done already. Another one that you can be proud of, and congratulations. Love you very much. So
Likewise.
proud of you.
Love you too.
Thank you, Sheika, for what you have given Vail, for who you have become, and for being my friend.